This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
You're listening to WSTU Stewart.
Happy New Year! Time for Startup Talk here on WPSL and WSTU with Mr. Tom Kindred from Indian River State College.
Well, good evening, Greg. I guess it is Happy New Year. That's
Yeah,
right. We're in a brand new year.
You bet.
Well, welcome everyone to another segment, an installment of Startup Talk in the new year. Our show is designed to assist and help Treasure and Research Coast residents who want to start, grow, or accelerate their business. And as I always say, what a great place it is to own and operate a business along the beautiful Research and Treasure Coast, and what a great time to start a new business at the beginning of the new year. We will spend time during our hour together tonight to highlight and create awareness regarding the very powerful and robust business assistance and support programs which exist right here in our community at our very own Indian River State College. I am Tom Kindred, and I serve the community and the college as the regional director for the Small Business Development Center. Our show today, as always, is powered by the SBDC at IRSC and our friends at Express Printing of Port St. Lucie. So I trust you had a good holiday, Greg?
That we did. Yep. We got
right.
the new year started off right with the basketball team last night.
All right, so give us an update.
Big win in Miami, 115-94.
Dade Community College?
Yeah, and Miami-Dade had just scored they scored 189 points a few weeks ago and scored 125 2 weeks ago.
In one game?
Yeah.
Or that wasn't over the weekend? That wasn't over two or three games?
No, that was 2 games. Yeah. So it was a track meet last night. Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah. But
And
Pioneers
IRSC came out on top?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's our record so far this year?
It is 10-4, 1-0 in the conference.
Nice.
So, tied for first with Eastern Florida. We have to enjoy that because it's not going to last long. We play Eastern Florida next week.
I was going to say, you always warn us a little bit about Eastern Florida. That's
they're in a whole hemisphere. They're number, 2 or 3 in the country.
Are they really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have 8 teams from Florida that are in the top 20 nationally. Tells you how basketball is going here.
Well, and tells how tough the conference is we play in.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We've got Palm Beach State is also in the top 10 in the country. And, we'll be fighting those guys, too. Palm Beach was beaten by the team we play Saturday. By ASA, they were beaten by 1.
And ASA is the new school.
The brand new school, yeah. So, very interesting stuff.
But he's doing a nice job. Coach Wilson's doing a nice
amazing.
job with the team. I've had the opportunity to see a few games this year. And as I've told you before, I've been so impressed with really the shooting ability of this year's team. It's different than watching teams of the past.
Yeah, we had 3-point shots raining in last night. I think we had 10 and 9 of them were in the first half. It was great.
Right.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Yeah. Does Miami-Dade get a big crowd at their games? I would imagine that's a big school down there.
Yeah, beautiful 7,000 seat gym.
Wow.
And at last count last night, 13 people. I'm serious. It's awful. It's
7,000 seat capacity, and there was 13 people in the stadium.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would say, as is the case a lot when IRSC goes to Miami, since a lot of the players are from South, half of them are our families.
Wow.
Yeah. It's really kind of sad down there.
Yeah, that's a big
beautiful
school. Yeah, I've never been on that campus.
Oh, yeah. It's ridiculous. There's 100,000 people on the campus,
right.
So I mean, it's one of the largest schools in the United States.
That's what I've always heard.
Oh yeah. But we did it last night, and hopefully we'll do it again Saturday.
So when do we play again at home? When do we need to
home
let people
is
know?
Tuesday afternoon.
Okay.
Strange schedule. It's early.
It's the 5:30 game.
It is a 5:30 game, so we will be delaying it to the next day at 7:00.
So
normal game time on WPS.
So hustle out of your office, grab your kids, grab your family,
and
get over to the gym on main campus. And enjoy some collegiate basketball.
And get there early, and hopefully the other team's there. Which we had to wait for them last time they tried it.
A little bit of an early start for games, but But anyway, well, as always, thanks for the update, and I'm glad they're doing well, and I have been impressed when I've watched. And as I tell people all the time, I mean, it really is a great opportunity to come out and all the athletic activities are free of charge. There's no charge to get into the basketball games. It's a great opportunity to come out and see some collegiate athletics right here in our own hometown. And it really is pretty exciting to watch. And girls volleyball is underway, or
no? They completed their season, had a good season. But it's funny. I was talking to the women's head basketball coach at Miami last night, and we were joking about grades. And of course, obviously, the women and the men down there are very, very competitive academically.
Right.
And because the guys all have on Miami's team have B averages. Well, she only has one girl that has even had a B. They're all A students. It's amazing. Yeah. And they've got a real international flavor, as you can imagine, down at Miami. Oh, we had, 3 kids last night, 2 of which, one was from Brazil, one was from Europe, and I think they had a player from some place called Florida.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, Florida.
Yeah.
Just one from Florida.
Just one from Florida, yeah.
Again, thanks for the update. And again, next game Tuesday, so keep that in mind. Put that on your calendars. We our show here, as our listeners know, and those that have been with us for a while, know our show is really dedicated and promoted to promoting all the entrepreneurial and small business resources that are available at Indian River State College. I actually spoke this morning down at the Rotary Club of Palm City. Great group of ladies and gentlemen down there. Had a great time speaking to the group. Had a number of the group come up to me this morning after I was finished, and they said, hey, we really enjoy the radio show. So those that are listening know that the purpose here is to make sure that folks know about the resources. And I talk all the time about how the school really has built an incredible business support program, and spoke about that this morning. And
so we have a listener.
We actually had
more than one.
Well,
I know we have 2 because your parents.
That's right. We have 2. We can always count on my 2. My parents. That's right.
That's interesting.
But as I think about, we've had a number of deans from Indian River State College, health sciences and technology, and where we talk about how those degrees can turn into entrepreneurial opportunities, and a lot of spinoffs in those degrees. So I kind of said to myself, of course, one of the most traditional ways that a student may get started into business and entrepreneurship is to come to an academic institution and get their degree. So I thought, it's about time maybe that we brought on to the show those folks that work at the front line of that of Indian River State College, those that are meeting those students for the first time and really recruiting those students and helping those students get enrolled. Because again, this is a potential entrepreneur or business person's really first step into the real world. So tonight I am pleased and proud to have with us. We've got Mrs. Eileen Storck, the Assistant Dean of Enrollment and Student Services. Eileen, welcome to the show.
Hello, glad to be here.
And we also have with us Mr. Doug Doran, Director of Enrollment Management. Welcome to the show, Doug.
Hi, thank you, Tom. Pleasure to be here.
So we're going to talk a little bit tonight about enrolling and what all the great things that the Enrollment and Student Services does to make it very easy, very simple, and create, I think the new key word is pathway, to create that easy pathway into getting involved and beginning your academic career at Indian River State College. So great to have them on tonight, and we're going to have that conversation. As always, I want to take just a few minutes real quick. We got a whole new year. It's January the 5th. So if you go to the IRSCbiz.com site now and you click on that events calendar, you are going to be impressed. I know it. I guarantee it. I counted tonight. We've got 20 training programs scheduled for the month of January already. So we're off and running. So just a couple of quick highlights. We've got Understanding Florida Sales and Tax and Use Taxes. This is a great workshop designed just for about anyone interested in gaining a better understanding of Florida's sales tax. Consumers, business owners, operators will benefit from this course. Students in the course will learn about resellers certificate and the responsibilities that come along with it, and the procedures about collecting and filing. And as I tell people all the time when we're talking about taxes, don't mess around with the Florida Department of Revenue. So this course will take place January the 10th down at the Hope Sound Public Library. No charge for that workshop, brought to you again by the SBDC and our partners at SCORE. We've got How to Start a Small Business. Again, here it is. Maybe that's your New Year's resolution. You're going to start a business. So if you've been considering starting your business and really kind of unsure of where to begin, this is your workshop. You will be provided with information about startup fundamentals, marketing, business planning, financing, licensing, employee issues, business structures, taxation, and those all-important regulations. So that will take place at the Indian River County Chamber of Commerce on January the 10th. That's a morning class, 9:30 a.m. to 12. Again, no charge for that class. We've got commercial credit scoring. Greg, what do you think? Credit score?
Okay.
Those of us that have been in business for a while, do we even have credit scores anymore?
Yeah.
Might
That's
be
really bad.
That's right. This might be a
Yeah.
good course.
Yeah, after 2008, are you talking about?
Yeah, that's right. Does anybody have a high credit score after 2008?
Man.
They've all taken a beating. So commercial credit scoring. What is commercial credit? How to extend commercial credit? Credit applications, credit policy. What is predictive scoring? How to get paid, merchant services. So all kinds of interesting information in the commercial credit scoring course. That'll take place at St. Lucie County Chamber of Commerce. Their office is down on Midway Road. That's a morning class from 10 a.m. to 11:30. That'll take place on January the 12th. And great instructor for this course, Mr. Marvin Lessman. He also helps us out at CCTI. So again, no charge, no cost for that course, brought to you by the SBDC and SCORE. And then I wanted to point out, we brought the instructors in the other day into the studio. They were on the show not too long ago, Mr. Denise Russell and Howard Stickler, our photography instructors. We've got the very popular class starting with CCTI, beginning photography. So incredible course. If you've got your new digital camera for Christmas and you need to know what all those buttons are for, yeah,
we'll hear from her in just a second.
If you need to know what all the buttons are for, this is the class for you. So this will start January the 9th. Again, it is a great class, very popular class. These courses fill up very quickly. Denise and Howard are Florida certified photography instructors. They've been teaching at Indian River State College for over 20 years. They have combined 50 years experience in the business of photography as freelancers and at Stickler's Commercial Photography. Denise is an international award-winning photographer, and in 2009 was awarded the IRSC Outstanding Adjunct Faculty Award.
Wow,
So,
well
people.
deserved. If you go to their either one of their websites, you will see some absolutely amazing pictures.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with it. And this is the beginning course. I think we actually offer 3 levels. We have a beginning, intermediate, and an advanced photography course. So it's really nice because you can kind of progress through the courses. But great course. And again, you can always get more details on all of that at the irscbiz.com site. Again, as always, the most important detail to remember regarding most of these training sessions, especially the ones brought to you by SCORE and SBDC, those are always free. There are charges for those CCTI classes, like the photography class, but pretty reasonable cost for those classes. And I tell folks all the time, and I mentioned this again this morning when I spoke to the Rotary Club down in Palm City. I just didn't know all this existed at the college when I was in business many years ago. And I tell folks, had I Had I taken the time to become engaged in and use the resources available at the college, I am confident I could have been a better manager, owner, and operator. So I just encourage business owners and operators to get engaged, learn what's going on at the college and the Dan K. Richardson Entrepreneurship Development Institute, and especially use those resources at the SBDC. The college, its president, Dr. Massey, and the board of trustees have done an incredible job of building what I always refer to as a very powerful one-stop shop for business assistance. So with that, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with our guest from Enrollment Services at Indian River State College. This is Startup Talk.
You're listening to WSTU Stewart.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie.
We are back. This is Startup Talk. I am Tom Kindred from the Dan K. Richardson Entrepreneurship Development Institute here at Indian River State College. And tonight, again, I am very proud and pleased to have with us some great folks that do an incredible job at Indian River State College in enrollment and student services. They're really, again, the front line folks who are recruiting and welcoming those students and helping them get started day one at Indian River State College. So we've got Miss Eileen Storck, the Assistant Dean of Enrollment and Student Services. Again, welcome to the show, Eileen.
Hello, Tom.
And we have also with us Mr. Doug Doran, the Director of Enrollment Management. Welcome, Doug.
Thanks again, Tom.
So listen, again, appreciate you guys taking time out. I know this is really your busy time of the year, is it not? So you've probably been on 12-hour shift today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we've been doing since we got back from Christmas break, but it's fun.
Well, we appreciate you. I know you'd probably need to be home with your feet up, but we appreciate you taking time out tonight to talk to us, because it is I'm really excited to talk about this tonight, because it is kind of nice to know how you get started at Indian River State College. For me, I spend a lot of time in the W building, but for many students, it can probably be a little unnerving walking up to W building and looking around. But hopefully tonight we'll see just how simple and easy it is. So again, why don't you start with us, Eileen? Just kind of start the process for us. How does a student begin their career at Indian River State College? What's kind of the first step?
Well, we reach out to students in our local high schools. We attend community events and just talk with the people that are interested in coming back to school, because for many people it can be very scary and frightening for some students to come to a college. They don't think they're college ready or they're college material, or they just have uncertainties that they're not sure of. So we work really hard to make that connection with our prospective students and give them the comfort level that they need as soon as they walk in the door. The process, we make it as simple as possible. On our website, we have 5 steps to get started. It's very clear what they need to do. But when they come into any of our campuses of IRSC, there's this warm, welcoming atmosphere that every one of them just experience as soon as they walk in. We make sure students feel that we take them where they're at. Whatever skill level they're at, we're able to accommodate them and tell them about whatever it is their interests are, and make sure we get them on the right path. And you had mentioned earlier about this guided pathway. We do want to take students down the road towards whatever their goals are in the shortest amount of time with the least amount of expense, and we work really hard to do that.
And you mentioned something too there, kind of in your opening statement about it, is any campus. And that many folks may not even know, but the college really we have 5 different campuses, do we not?
That is correct. We have 5 campuses.
And a student can actually register, enroll, and get information at any one of those campuses, right? You don't necessarily have to come to main campus in Fort Pierce to get the information.
That's correct. All 5 of our campuses are full-service campuses, one in every county, Okeechobee, Martin, Indian River, and 2 campuses in St. Lucie County, Port St. Lucie and Fort Pierce.
All right. And then, like I said, I've spent a lot of time in W building, and I got to tell you, you guys you have done a great job, when you come into that W building, you're immediately greeted. Somebody's asking you, where, why are you here? What do you need? And there, people are getting immediately directed. There's a lot going on in W, but it really is. There's all kinds of folks to answer questions in that W building. So, it's not like you come in and you're kind of looking around. There are people immediately right there at the desk to kind of guide and direct people.
Yes, those are Doug's superstars at what we call our welcome desk. So I'll let Doug respond to that.
Talk to
Doug?
us about the welcome desk, Doug.
Absolutely.
It's quite impressive.
That's been my mission ever since I started here a couple of years ago, and we have what's called SWAG students, and that's an acronym that stands for the Student Welcome Assistance Group, and they actually have a name tag like the one I'm wearing right now, and it says SWAG on there and their name, and
That's cool.
yeah, and they're
That is very
students.
cool.
That's the beautiful part about it is they're actual students at the college that work for us as well. So they're work study students, and so what better way than to build that peer connection when people first come in the door. So when they first come in, they check in at the welcome desk, and when there's ever a line, the SWAG students will actually go up to them and ask them, why is it, that they're in line? What are they looking to do? If somebody is coming in to get enrolled and they haven't applied yet, they'll actually take the student over to the enrollment center, sit them down at a computer, and then walk them through the 5 steps to apply that Eileen was talking about just a minute ago. So it works out really well. This past couple days, you mentioned we've had some long days. It's been peak registration, and we've had just to try to increase the ambiance or just have a really good quality atmosphere in there. We've incorporated some music. We had the popcorn maker out there.
I didn't know about that. There's
and-
food?
Sometimes there's snacks and water, but today and yesterday and the day before we've had popcorn out there, and I've been popping it myself. Actually, I'm handing out some popcorn to the folks that are waiting, and
Well, bring some over to the gym. What are you talking about?
right?
That's right. I always complain there's no popcorn and hot dogs at the gym. They're up at the W building.
I should give a shout out to Sharon Lowe actually for letting us use that popcorn maker. That's been a real blessing over there. So.
Well, again, it is impressive, and the W building really kind of serves, does it not, as kind of a one-stop shop again for a student. I mean, you've got advisement in the W building, you've got financial aid in the W building, cashiers are in the W building. Was that by design? That's
It absolutely was. Many years ago, we had students hopping from building to building to get the various services that a student needs to get started before they even enter their first class. And we thought, this is crazy. We've got the facilities. Let's put it all in one place. And we created the one-stop center in the W building. And that is where every service a student is ever going to need is available to them just by walking in. We've got the Career and Transition Services Center, which we will be expanding. You talked about a lot of the small businesses. Small businesses don't have big budgets, and they're look to hire and recruit. Well, a small business owner can just call our Career and Transition Services Center and post their job openings right on our job board and connect with students who are studying the field that they may be looking for that individual for. So that's a wonderful opportunity. Our students have the opportunity to get training in resume writing and interview skills so that they can work, and when they do that interview with the business owners, they're going to fly right through that interview. So that's one of the other services that we provide. And of course, the advising. Every one of our students has their own assigned advisor. So they get individualized attention and can have that one-on-one confidential conversation with someone who understands the challenges they're up against and can provide them with all the resources they need to overcome whatever challenges they may have. Or just to have that reassurance, just to know that they are on the right track and just to be validated. So advising, financial aid, cashiers you had mentioned, the Enrollment Management Center is there, our assessment center, the testing, when a student needs to take tests or whatever, our online students work through our testing center. It's all right there, admissions and records.
So are all the advisors on every campus, or are they just on the main campus?
With every campus being a full-service campus, we do have assigned advisors at every single campus. We have cashiers at every single campus. They can just get all the services they need in their local area. There's no need for them to come to the main campus for the most part.
Dr. Massey was on the show. It's been maybe a few episodes
ago.
ago.
Yeah.
Dr. Massey was on the show, and of course we were talking about Of course, we were mainly talking about the Aspen Award, which is a pretty big recognition.
Coming up soon.
That's right, for the college. But we got on the guided pathways, and I told Dr. Massey that I had been so impressed that my son is a student at Indian River State College now, and I was kind of mentioning that I was impressed with the way really that he went in. He explained what he was pursuing, and they basically laid out his entire 2-year stay at Indian River State College, got him up to his degree, and it's all planned out and done, and all he has to do now each semester is just go in and then basically pay for the classes, but it was all laid out. So I was very impressed, and it was really very organized and very professionally done, and you're right. I mean, they really took him in and laid it all out. It was very easy.
That's good to hear. We really try to create a sense of belongingness as well for our students, that yes, this is for them. We do have whatever they need to help them reach their goals, and if they're not even very clear on what those goals may be, we have a series of assessments we can do with them to help them fine-tune that so that we do get them on the right path from their first day of class.
Now, you mentioned earlier too, Eileen. You talked about we go out and we even talk to high school students. You guys, again, you're very aggressive about getting out in front of those juniors and seniors in the community. I'm a local, so I can talk a little candid about our community. But IRSC has played always such a big role in my life growing up in this community. But there probably are some people that don't have the kind of understanding that I have of IRSC. So, I mean, it is important that you get out and promote who IRSC is and what it is and the kind of incredible education that it can offer these students. So you guys are aggressive about getting out in front of those high schoolers. Do you find that sometimes you get out in front of the high schoolers and they say, well, we kind of knew that it was there, but we didn't know exactly all about it. Do you find that happens?
Yeah, that's also my wheelhouse too, getting out and helping the other recruiters that we have for the college get out there. And they say everything you can think of. So some of them have been to the college many times. Some of them have even applied. Some of them have been dual enrolled. And so we hear just about everything you can imagine from all the different classes that we go to. But we just hired a new recruitment specialist here at the Fort Pierce campus, and he's going to be circulating throughout Fort Pierce Central and Fort Pierce Westwood and the other local high schools here in Fort Pierce. And then there is representation also at the branch campuses, our program directors that also go out to the high schools, program coordinators of different divisions in the college. We all get out there, and the consensus is, the more that we're there as a resource for those students that are still in high school, the more that we're able to be a resource for the guidance counselors, the better connection and relationships we have with the guidance counselors, the high schools, and really that's our goal, is to be there as much as possible.
For parents who may be driving around now and saying, okay, I have a freshman in high school, we're thinking about dual enrollment at IRSC, how do you reach them? I mean,
well, thanks for asking that question. That's a great question, and it gives me an opportunity to talk about the dual enrollment sessions coming up in March. So, and I'll plug these dates, if you don't mind. I'll plug a couple of dates here. In
That's
March,
why you're here.
March 6th for the Chastain and Okeechobee branches at 6 p.m. Goes about an hour. That's Monday, March 6th, Chastain and Okeechobee campuses. There will be a dual enrollment information session. Right. So these dual enrollment information sessions are really what will answer your question.
So these are
when
for
the parents, the students, they'll come out there. So the one after that is Tuesday, March 7th. First one was Monday, March 6th. Tuesday, March 7th is going to be the Mueller campus in Indian River, Vero Beach, and then the main campus here in Fort Pierce. And that'll also be from 6 to 7 p.m. And then Thursday, March 9th, is going to be the Pruitt campus in St. Lucie West.
Yeah, and I had thought about the dual enrollment too, because that has become so popular, in the last decade. I mean, but prior to that, it was kind of something new, and folks didn't know about it. But during my, of course, children's high school years, it was a very popular program. I mean, talk a little bit about dual enrollment and how that program has really kind of exploded.
Our dual enrollment, the enrollment has truly increased over the past few years. I think the word has gotten out to parents that this is a great cost savings and a time savings for them as well as their student. The students are able to attend IRSC college credit classes and get high school credit and college credit for it at the same time. They pass the course, they get the college credit, it gets posted to their high school transcript and their college transcript. More and more students every single year graduate with their associate's degree before they even get out of high school. I think we had over 200 students this past graduation that got their associate's degree before they even were out of high school.
Now there are the dual enrollment comes with some requirements, does it not? You have to have a certain grade level.
Yes,
and right.
It does. There's criteria to be a dual enrollment student. It's not for everybody.
Right.
It is college coursework. High school students sometimes don't understand the rigor of a college coursework. It's not like their high school classes. They have to be independent thinkers. They have to have the confidence to speak directly with their faculty. Faculty are not going to be on them in the same way a high school teacher may, with reminding them about, all their
homework
assignments.
And tests.
Right. So there's a lot more accountability in the college credit classes, and they just have to be mature enough to handle that, and that is another part of it. There's some students who do not have the maturity level necessarily to be sitting in a college level classroom,
Right.
and sometimes it's that we make the parents aware. Sometimes they may be discussions that maybe they may not want their child to be exposed to, but it is a college environment.
Right.
There's nothing high school about it. It's college. That's what they're doing. They're getting their college credit and their high school credit. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not for everybody. 3.0 GPA is required.
Right.
So.
And for me, it's not that hard of a sell to sell free college. It is.
No,
There's no
that's-
cost. There's no tuition. So when we're in the high schools and we talk about dual enrollment, it's really an easy sell to the parents because, hey, do you want to send your son or daughter to college? When
I've been a young Floridian judge now for, it seems like, centuries. The last three winners, and I judged the athletes, were all dual enrollment. And the last one that we had not had a B since, like, elementary school, right? And she was off the charts, but she was talking about how she loved going to IRSC. And in a way, she said everybody was so mature on that campus. And when she had to go back to Centennial, it was like, oh, okay.
Well, and I can tell you too, from being in the classroom and doing some instructing, it always surprised me because first day I would take my roll and I would look at the students, and I never realized who was who and who was really a college student, who was dual enrollment, and it was always quite surprising and shocking to me when I would learn that about 3 or 4 of my students were actually high schoolers, and I looked at and I was like, I can't believe that's a high school student. Very mature, obviously, like you say, understood the rigors and the requirements, and they were very impressive students.
Was Zuckerberg one of them?
I definitely wasn't myself. I wasn't ready in high school.
Yes, I wasn't ready for college when I went to college. So I want to go back real quick because I really think this is really a very fantastic program, and I want to learn a little more about it. I'm not that well versed on it, but you talked earlier about that career center and what you do to assist students at IRSC when it comes time for graduation. Go into a little detail about that center and what you do and the student assistance, and you talked about the resume, assistance. That's so impressive. I mean, the support that you give students coming out of Indian River State College. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, we work with all of our instructional areas, and there's a whole module that students do just on employability skills, and they do that in conjunction with the Career and Transition Services Center. But students can come individually as well and get additional assistance, and again, resume writing. They'll show them how to have a perfect resume and the best format depending upon their age or the position that they're looking to pursue. Interview techniques, they'll walk them through a mock interview and pretend they're interviewing the student.
Wow.
And give them feedback and let them know this is what you did. You might want to rethink this. We also work very closely with our office systems area. We have what they call the career closet, and we have a number of students in our area who just do not have the finances to buy an outfit that makes them look extremely presentable, like you would want to put your best foot forward in an interview. In a career closet, they have access to an outfit,
Wow.
jewelry if it's a woman, all the accessories, guys as well, just to make
Coat
sure
and tie if they need
coat and tie, just to make sure that they present their best selves. And we don't ever want finances to be a barrier for
Right.
anything our students are pursuing, whether it be their education or going to get the job once they've gotten that education. We do all we can to remove that financial barrier for our students.
Wow.
That's amazing. Dress for success, right? I
Right.
mean, that's amazing.
I know.
Now, how long have you been doing that?
We've been doing that for a number of years. Donna Gorham oversees it over in that area in partnership with our foundation. They merged their resources, and our employees, donate their items to the career closet, and they just always have a surplus of clothes and plenty to go around.
It's amazing.
I know.
I was chatting with Flossie Jackson, our director over Career and Transition Services too, and I asked her, I said, how many students are being, getting success from the Career and Transition Services? She says over 94% of our graduates get jobs or continue their education. And they help them do that. And so not only do they help them do that, but they track their progress. And so that's why they're able to give that statistic. So that's a really phenomenal.
And of course, I'm at the other end of campus, but I do hear about these things, and it is impressive. Really what the student services is doing up there. And talk a little bit about too. One of my favorite things to do is that when I walk through the W building, I look there on the hallway, and there's all those job postings. I was so impressed the first time I saw all those job postings. I mean, you guys really do a great job of helping local businesses and employers get the word out about available jobs.
Yes.
How does that work?
Yes.
Businesses can just contact you or send the information in? Or?
Yes, it's relationships that have been built over the years through our career center, and just anything that we have, it gets posted through. It's just the communication and the relationships with the employers through a lot of our advisory committees, through the instructional programs. A lot of those are business partners, and they know the career center is there. So there's a lot of communication, and we just put it out there, and all the faculty know that we have it, and through their contacts, a lot of our adjunct instructors also have their own businesses, so they are aware of it. So it's
and there is a way. You have a basic procedure. I think I've called before, but you have a basic procedure that there's a form. I think it's online, right? They can fill out, and then the job gets posted. Is that
yes, it's much like when you set up an account through any other online service. They would go in and fill out the necessary information, provide the details on whatever position it is that's available, what the salary is for the position, the skill set that they're looking for a particular position, and they just fill it out and submit it. But they do set up an account as an employer first through our Career and Transition Services Center. So if they just go to the career services on our website, it's all linked right there.
Career services is the tab there on the website.
on the home page. Yes.
All right.
Skill set that lets me out.
I'd say click programs and careers as well. We have another brand new resource. Do you want to talk about Career Coach?
No, that's okay.
Yeah, the when you click that programs and careers in the upper right corner, we have you'll see a link called Career Coach, and you click that, and it will show you all the jobs. I think what it does is trolls the internet looking for job postings, and it will actually grab them. If somebody types in the word accountant, or if somebody types in any random job title, it will actually pull up all the ones in the local area and show you not only what the going rate is or fair market value rate of the position is, but all of the ones that are posted up there. So it's really a useful tool. We use it in our presentations to the high school students to get them, introduced to the outcome of why they're going to school in the first place. So we use that for a lot of different tools, a lot of different reasons.
So that's a good service for our students.
Career Coach. Yep.
So Career Coach, like it says, tells them the types of careers. If you choose a particular program, what type of careers are associated with that program, and then the jobs that are available within that career set.
Now, I always tell the funny story. Of course, when I went to I think back in my day, before computers and back in the early days of college, orientation wasn't a big thing when I went. I bought a campus map and I found my way around the university.
The one building.
Yeah. I'll never forget. I was standing in front of the building and I asked some student that walked by, "Hey, do you know where this building is?" They said, "Yeah, it's right behind you." Yeah. So, but orientation has become a big part of getting students acclimated now. Does IRSC do an orientation for new students when they come on campus?
Well, we do. I'll chime in on this one too because we're actually looking at really ramping that up for what we do for the students. We've always done a great job, and we've had a lot of flexibility. We offer to every single campus, including the main campus. You can even do it online on the internet. You can go through the modules on Blackboard and complete the whole thing online. We do require it for all new students. I think it's really important. We all think it's very important for a new student to become acclimated to all the different resources. But what we want to do this March is really ramp up what we do, have more student-led activity within it, have them tour the different, the different locations on campus so that while they're there, they're actually learning about the different things. We want it to be more hands-on. So, most of the communication that students get from us is through their Rivermail accounts and through their email accounts. And if they're not reading those emails or if they never sign up to do that, then, whose fault is that? Or what are they telling us?
Right.
So what our goal is to have them actually sit down at a computer, and we're going to have them do it during orientation. Right. Everything that they can get done that's hands-on, we're going to have them do that during orientation.
So again,
that's great.
It really does. It sounds like to me, IRSC really, you really have got the full, engagement of the students. You're out there recruiting, and what's the name of the program where you bring the students on and introduce them to the campus during the summer?
Yeah, that's our Great Explorations
Great
event. Explorations,
that's right. Talk a little bit about that program.
Eileen's a veteran of the Great Explorations event. She's done it.
This was our 20th anniversary for doing Great Explorations, and yes, I have been involved since day one.
Yeah, I feel
so
honored.
When did you start? When you were like 15?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Started at 2 years of age.
Yeah.
Yes, but Great Explorations is just a phenomenal program where we bring in juniors and seniors from all 4 counties, every single high school. Close to 1,000 students come on our campus, and they get exposed to a grouping of career areas, and they get a hands-on activity in every one of those career areas that they are interested in pursuing. And it's really interesting. We have the students do evaluations when they're done, and for some, it's like, this so confirms that I am on the right track and this is exactly the career I want to do. But on the flip side of it, it's really helpful because some will say, oh my gosh, I had no idea that's what that career meant, and I am not doing that. Right. So it really helps them get a bigger picture of what it is they're looking for and what it really means. But it also exposes them to what they have available in their backyard. So many students know IRSC is here, but many of them have not been on our campus, and they don't know that we have state-of-the-art facilities, first-class instruction, and just amazing technology available to them to help them learn all the skills that they need. Hands-on instruction using simulators, just fascinating tools, and they're just blown away. The students and a lot of the teachers that come and chaperone them that haven't been on the campus, they're like, I had no idea. So it's really good to expose them to that.
So there you go, Greg. See, another aha moment here on Startup Talk. That's
you got it.
Yep. What am I up to? I'm hundreds of aha
It's
moments.
hundreds by now. Yeah.
So again, it isn't just impressive, how you really from start to finish. You're really making it easy to get enrolled. You're creating the pathway. You're getting them through orientation. They're understanding the campus. You're bringing them in prior to even graduation, and they're understanding the degrees. And then as they approach graduation, you're helping with the Career Center. You're helping them write resumes. You're putting them through mock interviews. What is it that you don't do? That probably would have been the question. You guys really have covered it all with the students.
Yeah. One of our past vice presidents said, if anybody asks, can you do this? The answer is yes, meaning any program that you can imagine, for the most part, we are going to have something to help the student either get started or go the full path for it. anything from, we do certificates. Lots of times students don't think, oh, don't want a whole degree. They don't have to do a whole degree. You can just do a certificate and do a grouping and get a credential by taking 3 classes in a particular area, and that's it.
And that's a great point too. You're absolutely right. And I was going to ask you to kind of break down. I mean, and even in the certificate and degree area, really full offering at any River State College. You can get a certificate. You can get a 2-year degree. You can get a 4-year degree. So we have all those offerings also.
Yes, exactly. Technical training, small credentials to get them started in a job, just like say 2-year associate degrees, 4-year baccalaureate degrees.
And then let's talk too a little bit. We've sort of talked about the traditional student, which is that high schooler graduating and moving into college. I mean, again, IRSC is also home to many folks that have come back to either get a degree at kind of a more mature age, to maybe enhance job growth, job enhancement, increase their skill set. Talk about that too. The more mature student coming back, services are the same and.
Exactly the same. What we find is a number of our students, the majority still are non-traditional students, awful lot of them part-time because they have obligations, family obligations, work obligations, but they can come back part-time and still accomplish the same thing as a full-time traditional student. We have the online option. We have so many online classes and we have a whole virtual campus where students do nothing but online classes, but we've got a great percentage of our students where the majority of them take at least one online class in conjunction with a face-to-face traditional class. So that opportunity really does open up doors for those who have all these other obligations.
Yeah, and again, what about a more mature student? Talk about maybe resume or not resume, but transcript, like how does all that play into it for an older student? They're trying to find those old records or something.
Well,
is that an issue?
If it's a non-traditional student who has attended another college somewhere else, we do need to see their transcripts, but we have ways to help them access that and get those transcripts because we don't want them to repeat something that they've already taken. So we want to have a full picture of what this student coming to us is all about. It's what I was mentioning earlier. We take the student right where they are when they come to us, and wherever they come in from another school, fresh out of high school, it doesn't matter. We will start them from exactly where they need to start based on their individual circumstances. So
I had a young person come in, had attended FSU, didn't complete at FSU, and said, well, I've had so many credits, and I said, well, you really need to go up and talk to someone because a lot of these credits can come in and be used and help you down the road at Indian River State College to go ahead and complete. Was that a fair statement?
That was a perfect statement. Okay. Absolutely. We have a number of students that do get accepted into the universities, and for whatever reason they may not finish, and they end back up at IRSC, and by all means, accredited institution credits, we take them in. We again do an evaluation to see exactly where they are, and if they just need 5 classes to finish, that's what their guided pathway is going to say. Right. These are your 5 classes that you need to take in order to finish this credential if that's the path you're going on. So, and again, it's just very, very customized. We just want to make sure the students are doing exactly what they need to do to reach their individual goals.
And really keep them streamlined and efficient is right.
I was going to also mention the RCCPC, otherwise known as the Research Coast Career Pathways Consortium. If students are in any HOSA academies or medical academies, police academies in their high schools, even their high school credit can transfer in as college credit. So if any of the listeners out there have sons or daughters that are in any of those academies, you want to make sure you check those transcripts very well so you can get, as Eileen said, you won't have to repeat any unnecessary courses. And
again, I guess one of the state colleges and community colleges traditionally started out as 2-year colleges, but that's a lot of folks come to our institution to get their 2-year degree, then to move on and transition into a university. Is that a very traditional pathway too for us?
It is. A number of students get their AA and will transfer to a state university, or they will stay right at IRSC and get their baccalaureate degree with us. Like I had previously mentioned, we have a lot of geographically bound individuals with obligations here who can't go off to the university.
That's a good
but
point, right.
having IRSC right here with the ability to offer a baccalaureate program with over 20 baccalaureate programs, the options are many, and so many of our local residents have taken advantage of it.
And you
not to
you
mention-
had a record just a few weeks ago.
Well, I was just going to say the
Yes.
same thing too. We
Yes.
I am on the commencement committee, and so I've had the opportunity to go to a few graduations lately. And one of the last graduations, we had a record graduating class.
Yes, we did. Every commencement we have, it's more than the one before that. So we continue to grow and finish our students, get them through.
And a lot of that credit is really due to the work you two are doing. So again, incredible work, incredible department, and I'm so impressed with all that you do and all that I see happening up in the W building and what I hear from the students. So again, congratulations on all that you guys do. And with that, we'll bring to close another segment of Startup Talk. I want to thank our guests tonight, Miss Eileen Storck and Doug Doran of Student Services and Enrollment Services here at Indian River State College. And as always, want to thank Greg, our partner here at WPSL and WSTU. And with that, we'll talk to you next week on Startup Talk.
Startup Talk on WPSL, Port St. Lucie, and WSTU, Stewart.